Hi there and welcome to another Power BI video. Today I'd like to show you step by step how you can merge the last 12 months with your year slicer so that you can not only show the current year and previous years, but you can also show the last 12 months of data. So let's get started. So first of all, you can obviously use a date slicer as a range so that you can actually show, let's say, the 1 year or 1.5 years of data instead of choosing the dates here. But this is specifically useful if you want to showcase one full year. In this case, this is not a full year. And plus you want to show the last 12 months dynamically in this case. So let's have a look at how we can actually make this happen. First of all, we have a customer sales table here, a fact table with a lot of the data itself as well as some fields that we can see here. And I have gone and created a year column here, which is nothing but the year function for the calendar date that we have. And in terms of the calendar date, we have monthly data, as we can see here, and our latest data is May 2025. As we can also see in this case here as the latest date. Now what we need to do first of all is to create actually a table where we will combine all the years from the calendar date, and we will also include or embed the last 12 months as a text. So let's do that. What I will do is I will come back to home here, and then I will click on new table, and then I copied my code and paste it here to save some time. Here what we have is that we have a union function where it's going to union two different, let's say, tables in the same format. In this case it's one column and many rows it could be. The first of all we have the summarized columns, and for summarized columns it's nothing but the calendar date year. But we actually don't need the dot year here in this case anymore, so we can actually use the year column. It definitely doesn't change too much. And then we union this summarized column with year, which will bring only the distinct values, to a new row, which is again called year, and then the value itself will be last 12 months. Now if I hit enter, what I will here see is, let's sort it by ascending. I see the years that already exist in the fact table as well as the last 12 months here. So I have this year table, year column, and then I also have the year column in my fact table as well. Then as a next step, what I need to do here is I need to go to relationship view and then I need to create a relationship between the year table and my customer sales table. And when I create the relationship, it will be a many-to-one relationship because this is a distinct view of the years as we see, and then we also have the last 12 months, remember that. So we connect these years into each other and the connection has been made. Now what is going to happen is that for all the years that already exist, 2022, 23, 24 and 25, what will happen is the connection will be created with my fact table. But if I were to go and select the last 12 months, then it's actually gonna show nothing because there is no last 12 months in my fact table. So let's do the following. Let's go back to our report view, and then for the year that we have here, we can actually remove this and we can add this year from the year date table that we created. If I take a look at here, I see all the years listed and then also the last 12 months. Now if I were to go and select the years here once again, I could see that everything is actually showing up correctly. But even if I go and select last 12 months, obviously I will not see anything because it simply doesn't exist in my fact table. But we can actually make a workaround to work in our measures, in our calculations, so that it can actually go and create this calculation for the last 12 months dynamically. And we can make it so that when we have the new month of data, or let's say if you are adding some daily numbers, when we have the new data, then it will actually create the last 12 months between that actual date versus 11 months ago. So we have 3 base measures here for customer satisfaction, net sales and quantity. Let me select another year here. So we have these three measures. All are base measures being used in these visuals. So what we are going to do is, so currently for the base quantity, we have nothing but the sum of the quantity column in our fact table. And we are actually going to change that to this calculation. Now let me explain you what this calculation does so that we can better understand how we can make it work with the dynamic selection of last 12 months. First of all, we have a couple of variables here that are going to be used in the later stages as well. First thing that we need to consider is the selected year. So this is really important to actually save in our measure as a variable, because it's important what the user actually selects as a year in this case. So first of all, we use the selected value, which is grabbing the information of what has been selected by the user. So in that case, it's going to be the last 12 months for our calculation. So let me write it this way. Then we calculate a new variable which is called latest date, and this is nothing but the maximum of calendar date where we have no filters on the fact table as a whole. And we need to do that because if you were to select last 12 months, then you naturally filter your fact table's year column with last 12 months. But since you actually don't have that, it will actually return nothing. So I have to use this all here, or I can use remove filters as well, so that I can actually get the latest date from my calendar table or from my fact table, and then I can actually save it. And I know that the last date is actually 05/2025, so I can actually write that here as a comment so we can better understand. As the next step, which is called last 12 month, the variable name, we use the edate function, which actually is able to take any date, go forward or back in time, and then save that information. When you say, okay, the edate of latest date variable, where we go 11 months back, so -11. So this is actually going to save 06/2024. So it will take us 11 months back, and it will actually start from 06/2024. Then the rest of it is actually going to be, let's say, quite straightforward, because now we have all the information that we need. And as I said, these information are really dynamic. So next month you can have, let's say, 06/2025 and 07/2024 to actually have it a 12-month span. Then we have a new variable which is called calc, which is the calculation. So this is to calculate the sum of quantity in the customer sales table. And then we remove the filters for the same reason that I explained in this case here, which was the all function in this case, so that it can actually calculate the quantity correctly. And in terms of the dates, we are actually going to explicitly give what should be the dates between. So for that, we use the dates between function. And here we simply say, calculate the dates on the calendar date column between the last 12 month, which we know it as 06/2024, up until the latest date, which is 05/2025. So it will actually go and calculate the sum of quantity between 06/2024 to 05/2025 to bring us this 12-month span, which is the last 12 months. Then the last step is the result variable, which is nothing but an if statement, in which we have, if the selected year by the user is indeed last 12 months, then use the calc variable, which is going to calculate it, as I said, dynamically. If not, then you can simply bring the sum of quantity, because we already saw that if you were to go and select 2023, 24, 25, then the calculation is happening dynamically, and then we will just return the result. Now if I update my code here, we will see that nothing is changing for the previous years, because the previous years are already connected with our dimension table. If I were to go and select the last 12 months, here in this case I have seen it for these two charts. For this one I have to update it to base quantity, and then I will also see it for base quantity as well. So let me go ahead and update the codes for all the other ones as well. Alright, so as we have here, we have the years that we already had and showing up the numbers from there. And if you were to select the last 12 months, then you would end up with the last 12 months of the calculation. What you could also do here is, you know, as we already have the latest date here, you could actually go and create a new text, in this case here, like we have it here, and you can also bring the information of what was it 11 months ago. You can basically create a new label here that says this the dates are from, let's say, 06/2024 up until 05/2025. I hope you find this method useful, and let me know if you have some questions, and I'll see you on the next one.